Hi, welcome to Sumery P. If you're new here today, thank you for clicking on. And if you're coming back again, welcome back. Okay, I love spelt flour, and one of my lockdown goals last year was to try and perfect a spelt bread. So this is my favorite spelt bread, seeded spelt, really hard to say, seeded spelt bread. So I add in sunflower seeds and a little bit of flaxseed. So if you'd like to see how to make homemade seeded spelt bread, come with me and let's see. So the first step for making our spelt bread today, I'm going to do it in my stand mixer because I have it and it's so much easier. So you put my dough hook on there, and I cheat. I use instant yeast or fast yeast. So you don't need to prove it or get it ready. So in the UK, I buy this one called McDougall's bread yeast, and it comes in little packets like that. And one packet's 7 grams. So what we'll do, I've already measured that out. So in this bowl, we're going to add flour. And the other thing I like using is spelt flour. So I'm using a combination of whole grain and white. And I buy my spelt grain online. So if you jump over to sumeryp.com, you'll find out where I get it from. It's a UK brand called Craggs & Co. So they're not sponsoring this at all. I just love using their spelt flour. And if you look on the side of their pack, their protein content in their spelt flour is 14.3, which is quite high. So it's perfect for bread making. So in there, I've got 250 grams of both white spelt and whole grain spelt. So we're going to pop all of that yeast in there. That's 7 grams, which is a heaped teaspoon. And for something different and a little bit of extra fibre, I'm popping in 3 tablespoons of ground flaxseed, or sometimes called linseed. So let's just mix that up a little bit. And in here, I've got 250 mils of warm water. And a little tip, you're going to need it warm enough, like so when you touch it, it's warm to touch. I pop a little bit of hot water from the kettle, about 100 mils, and then the rest cold water from the tap. And it kind of tends to be a perfect temperature. So we're just adding all that in. Actually, I'll leave about 50 mils and just pop it in towards the end. Now we'll add in salt. So that's 7 grams of salt, which is also a teaspoon. A little tip, don't put your salt next to your yeast because it stops the yeast from activating. And I'm doing it in my small loaf tin, so I've prepared that with just some butter underneath the paper, and the paper's a little bit longer on the side, so then you can lift it out of the oven. Lift it out of the oven, lift it out of the tin. I get my words all confused. So I think I'm going to put in that extra little bit of water. And the other tip is sometimes, depending on what flour you use and whether you add the flaxseed or not, you might need a little bit of extra water, which I think we'll need today. So I'm just going to grab some more water. I'm just going to add in a little bit more water. It's always easy to add a little bit at a time. Then if you put it all in and then you got to add more flour, it just gets all messy. Okay, see how my bowl's looking really clean? The dough's just about done. So let's stop it, and I'm going to add a little bit of flour to my hands. Yeah, that's just feeling great. So that's quite hydrated, and it's a nice dough ball. So into the base, I'm going to add a little bit of flour. And see, it's quite sticky, but that's perfect. So let's pop it back in there. A bit more flour on top. And I love this bowl because it comes with a lid. But if you don't have a fancy lid, just pop some cling wrap, plastic wrap, or a damp cloth. So I'm going to just let this rest, let my dough baby rest, and double in size. Sometimes it takes an hour, sometimes it's an hour and a half, depending on the temperature of the room. So let's give that a little bit of a rest. I'm going to go away, have a cup of tea, and then I'll come back. Check this out. My dough has doubled in size. So now it's time to start kneading it and adding the seeds. So it's so hydrated and lovely, and I need to pop it on this bench. So I've got some spelt flour here. I'm just going to dust that on my bench. And I've got a little dough plastic spatula, which is great for getting it out. So I need to just add the seeds now. So I stretch it out, make sure there's enough flour, which I didn't put enough, so it doesn't stick. It's quite moist, so we just need to add a little bit more flour underneath there. So grab the seeds. So that's 50 grams. And then all I do is I just start pushing them down a little bit. And then I try and make kind of like a rectangle, almost like you're making a pizza. And then I fold in either the side opposite or near me. Fold in one side. Fold over another side. I think we need to help it. And then fold it over again. So I've just kind of enveloped it. Grab your tin. And then you might need to help it up a little bit. It's a bit sticky today. The side that I've creased, I'm going to pop that on the base. And you just kind of manipulate it so it forms a bread shape like that. And then I'm just going to add a few more seeds. So I'm just going to sprinkle a few more to the top. And at this stage you can cut it if you like, but I always just leave it. I don't even bother glazing it. And we just need to cover that. So I usually cover it with a cloth or plastic wrap. So we just cover it with some plastic. We just let that sit for another 30 to 40 minutes. So it's which is called the second proof. And in the meantime, we need to pop our oven on 200 degrees and have that lovely and warm so we're ready to pop the bread in. So I'm going to pop that on now. And we'll be back shortly. My timer's gone off. It's risen again, so it's time to bake it. So I'll remove all the plastic. Some of the plastic's stuck a little bit, so just gently remove it. It doubles so much because my kitchen is rather warm. Okay, as I said before, I don't fuss with a wash. I just feel that you can waste milk or eggs, but if you wanted to do a milk wash or an egg wash, go ahead. So before we pop it in, I've got some water in this little cake tin here, and I'm going to pop that at the base. The water just helps create some extra moisture in the oven, and it makes my bread have a really thin, crunchy crust. So a little tip, add water to the base of your oven. I'm going to bake this for about 30 minutes. Can't wait to show you what it looks like. So we're back with our spelt bread, and it's been out of the oven for about 45 minutes, so it's cooled down nicely, and I think it looks great. It's got the nice kind of sound that you're meant to have. The crust feels not too hard. So let me see if I can try and cut this for you. I'm always a crooked cutter, so I blame it on being left-handed. I think that looks pretty good. I might have been better off blending my seeds in a bit more, but I think it will taste great. Let me come a bit closer. Okay, check that out. That's my fluffy spelt seeded bread. And I've got a little bit of a stripe of seeds, so maybe I should have blended them a bit better. But anyway, it smells delicious. It tastes great. It's really fluffy and easy to make. So if you've liked my video today, don't forget, hit the thumbs up, share it with a friend. If you're new here today, please subscribe. I need all the support I can get. And I'm doing 3 videos a week this year, and I just love sharing my recipes and ideas with everyone out there. So write a comment below if you've given this a go and you love the spelt bread. I'll see you next time. Bye.